Sorry.
Thank you. Go ahead and start. And we're gonna go ahead and start with the pledge and the salute. And Miss Paige and Blair Lamson are gonna lead us in this effort. And ladies, come on up.
One, two, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of the friendship of united cultures. Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, moving on to item number 3, welcome of guests. Reminder, as the Board of Education of Farmington Municipal Schools, all powers of the board lie in its actions as a public body. And as individual members of the board has no authority or power. And as a body of the board collectively holds power and responsibilities. These powers are exercised transparently during public meetings. Some of the key powers and duties of the board include developing educational policies for the school district in accordance with relevant law and regulations, hire and supervise the superintendent, review and approve the school district budget, manage property acquisitions, disposal, and maintenance, representing the school district in legal matters, issuing bonds, and managing financial resources, providing oversight for the success of each school within the school district. Administrative and operational functions of the school district, such as day-to-day operations, are handled by or under the superintendent and district staff. As a board, superintendent and district staff, we do the following collectively: periodically review and update policies to align with educational goals and legal requirements, and evaluating the effectiveness of school operations and educational programs. Reminder, board members are in attendance in person. Each board member will identify themselves when speaking. All votes will be done by roll call vote. Guests wishing to provide public comment are asked to complete a public comment request form located at the table at the entrance. Cards should be placed at the basket at the sign-in table. As a reminder, comments related to board responsibilities may be passed on to the board for considerations. Comments related to administrative responsibilities are requiring further investigations may be passed on to administrative personnel for consideration. Personal attacks upon board members, staff personnel, or other persons in attendance are absent by individuals who wish to provide public comment are discouraged. Guests will be called upon under the limited public forum section of the meeting. Guests submitting a form will be acknowledged and have 3 minutes to state their comment questions. Guests are not allowed to share their time with other guests, and a total of not more than 30 minutes will be allowed for all public comment. And with that, please consider prompts here. Board member McWilliams, can you do the honor of sharing the good things happening in the district?
Absolutely. We'd like to thank the County Gosh Arts Foundation for inspiring years through last week's Young Audience Concert. Students enjoyed music, learning about instruments, and explored acting, dancing, and singing. We hope they continue into our great music and theater programs in 6th grade. Thank you also to Save the Children for partnering with Apache Elementary to help K-3 parents nurture a lifelong love of reading. Their Save the Reader events were a wonderful way to connect with families. We celebrated the grand opening of our outdoor garden classroom at Esperanza Elementary, where students will learn about planting, growing, and how food connects to composting and recycling efforts. This is the first of many garden classrooms we plan to bring to all schools, for more to come. Join us for National School Lunch Week from October 5th to the 18th, featuring special menus and activities to promote healthy and tasty school meals. Our goal is to boost student participation and connect with families, teachers, and administrators to show how nutritious and tasty school meals are. And finally, we will be celebrating our Teacher of the Year shortly. But first, we wanted to extend our heartfelt congratulations to all the wonderful educators nominated for this award, whose hard work and commitment make a difference in the lives of our students every day. Thank you, Miss Kelly Henderson of Tibbetts Middle School, Miss Terry McCartney of Farmington High School, Miss Geraldine Moses of Animas Elementary School, and Mr. Nick Shepherd of Farmington Preschool Academy East.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, consideration to adopt the agenda.
Madam President, I recommend the board approve the agenda as written.
Motion?
So moved.
Oh. Okay, and then second? Second, Congress Stratton. Roll call vote, Ms. Maxwell?
Aye.
Ms. McWilliams? Aye. Ms. Stratton?
Aye.
Ms. Thompson? Aye. Moving on to item number 5, recognition of student, staff, and patrons, and we have recognition of Teacher of the Year finalist presented by Mr. Pash.
Along with Tim Williams, who told my father was naming a finalist.
Oh, Roberto.
I'm not gonna go through and name them all again. But I am here to make sure we know who our Teacher of the Year is, Sharissa Sunder. Sharissa, can you come up? Actually. Mr. Deal and I were doing what we do a lot of the time, and we go into schools, and we happened to pop into Sharissa's room, and the kids were all very well behaved, but the teacher was standing on the table getting something from the top shelf. And she kind of looked at both of us, and she just shook her head and said, "No, I probably shouldn't be doing this." And I said, "No, Sharissa, you probably shouldn't stand on the table." Teresa is a wonderful teacher who really deserves the award Teacher of the Year. There was over 200 nominees this year. And we're just really excited that someone of your caliber got it. Would you like to say anything to the board?
This nomination really truly does mean a lot, and I've told like several of my friends and my coworkers that it feels so silly to be like standing up here alone, because I honestly truly believe it takes the village to raise and teach these kiddos, these kids. They are my students, but there's no way I could do this on my own. I have an assistant who has been with me for our 14th year together, Laura Hutchison. So we work great together as a team. My teacher, Betsy, back there, Tara, we've been together for 13 years teaching kindergarten, so for a double trouble over there. But I mean, it takes a team, it takes the support of other colleagues, admin, people at the central office level, and the community parents, and teaching is my passion, and I truly love what I do.
Thank you. We're gonna have the board go out and take a picture in front of the plaque. I saw Miss McCartney came in. You wanna come up and get your plaque?
And I think what she really needs is a step stool.
Well,
That was not this year, that was a few years ago, we shot her one cent.
luckily the tall bald guy was there. Miss McCartney is a teacher at Farmington High, and she was also a finalist for Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
So you guys wanna come out here, Roberto, we'll take a picture real quick.
No?
Motion, Ms. Williams. Second by, Williams, roll call vote, Ms. Maxwell?
I don't.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Stroughton? Aye. Ms. Thompson? Aye. All right, moving on to item number 9, financing of facilities. 9A, consideration to approve 23-24 capital assets presented by Bobby.
I'm gonna read off every single aspect. I've written it, so I'm gonna do it, you watch. So as part of our annual audit, the board is asked to approve the capital assets. And so this year we had 40 additions to our capital assets. We had 3 items purchased at a district operational. We had a gym floor cover and 2 Connexes. A couple of trucks were purchased from transportation funds. Student nutrition purchased items including a dishwasher, freezer, seated cabinets, food vending machines. A pole vault mat was purchased using secondary athletic funds. A new activity bus and a plow for the gator was purchased using the activity bus account. McKinley bought a new LED sign using their activity funds. 10 items were bought for the automotive program at the Kate Center using grant funds. The Native American grant bought a bassoon for students. And a Ford Explorer and a Ram truck were purchased using the special capital outlay local funds. SB 9 and mill were used to buy floor scrubbers, a grand piano, dumbbells, an F-250 truck, and a scoreboard at Mesa View. That's the rundown of the additions to the inventory. The disposals for 23-24 were 2 refrigerators and a freezer that were used for parts. We had a 2004 van that went to auction and the EPO building on 20th Street. The van was approved for auction in November by the Finance Committee and it was brought to the board. The funds went back into the mill account from which was bought. And the EPO building closed near the end of December in 2023, and those funds were deposited into the Special Capital Outlay Funds local. And that is all for the disposals. So that was our activity for 23-24 with the capital assets. Questions?
Madam President, Lisa Maxwell, this inventory report is like a long-term story of our entire district. I found it highly fascinating. Especially when I went and toured, the elementary schools this spring. And I saw like in McCormick on page 1, that 1953 was the original building for that. And when I toured that school, I saw what a 1953 building looks like. And I also saw what renovations look like too. And the most intriguing thing that I heard on that truck was cinder blocks really are safer than just like press board walls these days. And that was from the retiring principal. And she retoured every corner of that school. Found that highly fascinating. Another fascinating thing is depreciating instruments. I have a house full, I come from a musical family and I would have never thought to depreciating musical instruments.
Yes.
And if I did that with my instruments now, I'm sure the IRS would flag me. No, but that was really interesting. So, when we look at our assets that are this old, do we have a state team from the public school facilities to meet with our facilities people to determine we need to upgrade this, demolish this building, or how does that process work?
We have the facilities master plan, and I believe we do that every 5 years. And people from, is it TSFA? They go out and they tour all the facilities and they kind of rank with the renovations and improvements that need to be made. And that's
So
really,
it's kind of a team effort between our,
Completed it 2 years ago.
the master plan. Okay, so
And it's quite extensive. Every school is given an inspection, top to bottom. I was on the roof of a couple of them because I took that upon myself. But it was interesting, and yet there are certain, But, you can't fix certain things in certain schools, without losing your rating. Or replacement of the said facility.
That's right, so I could show you that, it's huge, money.
Yeah,
I have a
it's a
model, I can
big
show you
file.
that. It scores everything in the facility from grounds to HVAC to plumbing, everything in that building is scored based on the review of that committee, company that we hired to come and do those.
But what I found amazing, and this speaks to our district and how well we take care of our buildings. Ours have been in better shape statewide because we have such good maintenance and facilities coordinators. So it is, for all that needs to be done in the district, they are in pretty good shape. That's just, am I right?
Yeah, Mr. Gamble, you wanna talk real quick about the FMR?
Okay, Joey.
Yeah, you should.
So is it annually they come out with the FMAR? So it stands for Facility Maintenance Assessment Report, and it's a score the PSFA gives us on how well we maintain each of our facilities. And each building gets a score, and the average, the goal is to be above 80%. FMS was at 92.8%, it was the highest in the state. So that score is just overall evaluation of you're taking care of your facilities from grounds to inside the building, to the exterior. So, and not just schools, but also our plan ops, transportation, everything. So,
So it's a constant process that you're on top of.
yes.
Because I know some schools that are around the state don't have the budget or the manpower to keep up maintenance, which is important to keep up capital assets. So it sounds like we're very fortunate here that we can do that. That will extend the life of the capital assets.
Steve and Charles are pretty amazing.
Very good. Yeah.
Good team,
Great.
operations department, yep, for sure.
Thank you.
Going to the next one.
And I do have another, Madam President, I do have a couple more questions. Here. So for our disposal, report, I think I did pick up on what you did with the funds for excess value received. So we don't go through the same process every time we receive extra value for an asset. Maybe the superintendent and everyone, they determine where they should put those funds, or do they go back to where they came from?
If we can, some of those, like the refrigerators and freezers were so old, we didn't have what fund they were bought out of, that they were used for parts. So the assets that we sell, we do make an effort to go back and see what fund they were purchased out of and try to put it back into that fund. And then as far as like the the objects, I'm trying to, how we put it into the general ledger, a lot of that is determined by the state. They have certain codes that we have to use for, like the building, there was proceeds from sale of property. And so they really kind of dictate where we put within that fund the receipts. Right.
Alright. And then whenever we have our next garage sale, I want dibs on the freezers and the piano and snow shovel. Thank you.
Okay. Madam President, I recommend the board approve the 23-24 capital assets as presented.
All right, motion,
So moved on Strata.
second,
McWilliams.
roll call vote, Ms. Maxwell.
Aye.
Ms. McWilliams. Aye. Ms. Stroughton.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson, aye. All right, moving on to 9B, consideration to approve resolution number 2024-R26, Phoebe High School HVAC bid lot 4, presented by Mr. Nicolay.
So we discussed this in the finance meeting. This resolution is for us to go to PSCOC for funding. This was originally part of the bid lot for all of our HVAC projects. Bid lot 4 was not approved at the time due to funding. So this is just bringing bid lot 4 back to the forefront so we can fund that project. So, any questions?
And I would recommend that the board approve this resolution.
Okay, so recommendation and,
Yeah, recommendation to approve resolution 2024-R26.
okay, motion,
Under Stratton,
motion by, and second,
Second, Maxwell.
okay, roll call vote, Ms. Maxwell. Aye. Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Ms. Stradling.
aye.
Ms. Thompson. Aye. Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 10, Board of Education, 10-8, consideration to approve elementary and youth all-state to Albuquerque in January 2025, presented by Mr. Manager.
Good evening. I'm kind of busy tonight. This is our annual New Mexico chapter of the American Choral Directors Association Youth and Elementary All-State. We typically send anywhere from 60 to 80 students to this event. They do 2 days of rehearsal and then a day of concerts. The recording process for the auditions is occurring now, and then they'll be adjudicated over the next few weeks, with results being released in November. It does include 4th through 9th grade students, so that's why we're here for the approval.
Dates and times, they stay the night.
Yes, it is Friday night. Go down Thursday, come back on Saturday.
Will there be a lot of chaperones for all those critters?
Yes. All the teachers go in and we still maintain, I think it's 7 to 1 for the elementaries, 10 to 1 for the middle schools.
Madam President, Lisa Maxwell, when did elementary school kids start going to All-State? I don't remember that one.
So this is the American Choral Directors Association. It's not the same All-State that New Mexico music educators go to at the beginning of January. And we've been doing this, I want to say Mr. Leach was getting it started probably 13 years ago. 13 years ago. Yeah.
How's it funded?
Through the Fine Arts Education Act.
No fundraising, it's all through the grant.
Yes, SEG, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Madam President, I recommend the board approve the elementary youth all-state to Albuquerque in January as presented.
All right, motion,
McLean, motion.
second. Roll call vote, Ms. Maxwell.
Aye.
Ms. Williams. Aye. Ms. Stradling.
Aye.
Ms. Thompson. Aye.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on to item number 11, advanced planning, October 14th, 2024. Professional day, no classes. November 5th, 2024, holiday, all office closed.
Go
And
vote.
Yep.
Go vote, that's what it's for.
and with that, motion to adjourn by
So moved on the Stratton.
second. Roll call vote. Maxwell? Aye. All right, Mr. Williams? Aye. Ms. Dudley? Aye. Thompson? Aye. Thank you. Thank you.